Let's go!
You are now watching 14A Sports on 15MOFE.com.
Hey! Welcome back to the 14A Sports Radio Show.
What?
And joining us live in studio. It's nice. It's nice. Now, joining us live in studio right now, coming all the way from Manhattan, Bobby Balis. How you doing, Bobby?
How you guys doing? It feels really good to be back in Bayonne.
It's great.
Say, it's like
Does Bayonne feel the same way?
Well, I don't know. I feel the same way. I'm not sure how Bayonne exactly feels about me being here.
So, how was the trip in?
I was, good path, light rail, that whole deal.
It's good.
I was
smell of urination the whole way.
That whole thing.
Not everybody can drive a Maserati. No.
No. I left mine in the garage, so I took the subway.
Good, good. Economical. We like that. All right, now let's get into Yanks right now. What is going on with all the injury? Are they hanging out with Greg Oden?
Yeah, I mean they might be. Now you know what it really is it's not a thing of age, because you got guys like Pettit, Ichiro that are of age that are healthy, and the guys that are hurt, Teixeira, Granderson, I think it's just something that happened.
Right.
And it's nothing nobody expected. The A-Rod injury, everybody expected. He's damaged goods.
Yeah.
A-Rod shot. I think you had that brief tenure of Hal Steinbrenner running things when Cashman once A-Rod opted out, Cashman didn't want him, and Hal Steinbrenner decided that he was gonna roll the dice with A-Rod, and that contract is really an albatross hanging over the Yankees right now. What do you think?
Yeah, after 2009, he's been very unproductive. I don't think that he's got much left, if anything at all. I think he's just going to collect money and be on the payroll.
Yeah. Honestly, best bet for the Yankees is that he doesn't play at all and they collect insurance money on him. I think that really is.
The best bet would be for somebody to take that ridiculous contract.
Oh, no one's taking that contract.
I know nobody's taking that contract, but if you're asking
maybe the Mets,
for the best thing in the world, I think maybe
the Mets, Don't get the Mets involved. The Mets are smart these days.
Wouldn't you guys think that a possible destination would possibly be Miami? Would that be somewhat attractive since he's from there? He knows the owner well. Maybe he can get the fan base jump started.
That might be attractive for A-Rod, but it wouldn't be attractive for Miami. Miami just slashed their payroll by $100 million.
I understand that, but just to get people in the seats, do you think the owner might do something like that?
Absolutely not.
No.
Jeffrey Lurie's not paying that kind of unless the Yankees eat
would
the
have
whole
to
thing.
Eat a lot of it.
Almost all of it.
Like 80%.
If there could be some way where maybe you could not pay him for 2014 against the luxury tax, then I would go about it like that, if you could possibly do that.
Well, I don't think you can. But that's a good suggestion.
All right, it is.
Now the Yanks, they finished last year on a sour note. They got swept right out of the ALCS. You go to Yankee games all the time.
Right.
What do you think the fan reaction is going to be to start this season out?
I think opening day is going to be packed like usual with a few empty seats in the big money seats, and I think attendance is going to be down again. Right. The true fans are getting priced out. People are getting sick of it. And they have an issue going on with StubHub right now.
Yeah, you can't even get a ticket off of StubHub.
All right, but
right?
take the tickets, take the prices out of it.
Take all that out of it.
I don't think there's going to be as good a team. They're not going to be as good as baseball team this year as they were last year. They're not.
Here's the thing.
Explain to me how they are.
I'll explain why you are wrong. Okay, the pitching is just as good. They're going to have to score runs differently. They're not going to hit 200 home runs anymore.
250.
Whatever, big number, whatever it was. What they're going to have to
250.
do is,
I just told you.
They're going to have to get on. They're going to have to get on base.
Who's getting on base?
You got Ichiro and Gardner at the top of the lineup.
Gardner's probably going to hit ninth, although he might
Gardner's
not.
going to lead off.
You don't have a shortstop right now.
Opening day lineup, Gardner's going to lead off with Ichiro, then Cano, then Euclid, and Hafner. That's your 1 through 5.
So all right? Do you trust Hafner?
I trust Listen, if Hafner could stay healthy,
if
he could stay healthy,
it brings me back to one of my favorites. If the Queen had balls, Robbie Balis, she'd be the king. Give me one reason to believe that Travis Hafner's going to stay healthy.
Listen, if the Queen had balls, I might fondle them. No, but in all seriousness, look,
that wasn't serious.
Well, yeah, I mean
that's what you were afraid of.
Let's say Hafner gives you 120 games at DH.
I think if he gives you 120 games at DH, he'll put up some numbers, but I don't see that happening.
Okay, he'll get on base 35% of the time. His swing is very conducive to Yankee Stadium.
I agree with you. I don't see. Okay. I agree with I don't disagree with the first part of your statement.
Right, he's going to be a productive player if he could stay healthy.
Right.
that was the whole thing with Eric Chavez too. Eric Chavez can be productive if he stays healthy. If they use him right and don't play him day after night and things like that, I think he's going to be a very, very productive player.
Hafner already said he's not picking up a glove at all.
No,
so
he said he has one, and everyone is welcome to use it if they like it. So.
Yeah, so you're not going to see him in the field, but so the Yankee rotation,
right?
That's the pitching between the rotation, the bullpen. That's their strength. Again, I think though Pettit kind of a freak injury last year.
Right, very freak. And he's always been healthy.
I agree. I think that's your bread and butter. That's if you're gonna make any noise this year, it's through the rotation. What do you think of Phil Hughes? Phil Hughes, injured in preseason. You're gonna need that fourth pitcher.
Phil Hughes, his whole career, he's kind of been like a quagmire. You never really know what you're going to get out of him. You think that he was coming up. He was the next Roger Clemens. He was this ace. He was going to be this
Texas kid, big
great
Texas
stud,
kid, right-hander.
all this stuff. And now maybe you're projecting him at best a 3 to 5 starter. I mean, though, in his bad days, at least he can give you innings. He's a decent pitcher. On a good team, he's a 4 or 5 pitcher, and that's all the Yankees are asking from him.
That's
so
fair.
Once he's healthy, he's going to be a productive pitcher.
All right, so the Yanks, they got rid of Swisher, they got rid of Martin, Chavez, Ibanez. Which one of those is going to hurt us the most this year?
Well, this year or long term?
This year.
This year, I think Swisher's going to hurt the most because he gets on base. He's a switch hitter. He's a spark plug in the clubhouse. I think long term, Martin's going to hurt because in a down year, last year, Martin still hit a low batting average. He still hit a lot of home runs. He had a high line drive rate. He hit into some bad luck. I think he's a really good catcher.
Yeah, he was great with the rotation.
But I agree with you with Martin. Why? I mean, he's the Yankees are getting outbid by the Pittsburgh Pirates. What universe where are we living? Where
they're an up-and-coming squad out there in Pittsburgh, right?
Actually, Pittsburgh's not bad, but that's not the point. The point is the Yankees are letting a player who I agree with the both of you is a productive player going forward. They're losing him to Pittsburgh. How does that happen? Why is that happening?
Well, I'll tell you right now. The idea is, and whether any Yankee fan or baseball fan wants to hear it, the idea is to get under $180 million payroll by next season, and that's the goal. Okay, regardless of what the Steinbrenners or Cashman or Andy Levine or any Yankee trust will tell you, the goal this year is not to win. The goal is to get under the cap next year.
Right. By the cap, you mean the luxury tax threshold.
Cap, the $189 million threshold.
Right.
Which, because if they don't get under next year, they'll have to pay 50% luxury tax.
Right.
Now, if they get under,
then it resets and goes to 50%.
Resets, and not only do they not have to pay, but the Yankees get anywhere between $10 to $40 million.
So
from the revenue sharing.
Let me ask you this, Rich, Balis, as Yankee fans.
I'm here. Oh, sorry. I thought I was going to get included in that.
We're not talking about Cole Hamels' degenerative knee problems right now.
Not yet. Not yet.
Just a degenerate.
I'm
period.
sorry. Chase Utley. Yeah. As Yankee fans this season, do you feel that the Yankees, and you kind of just answered this, but I'm asking you directly, are more concerned with the payroll and the monetary aspects of the Yankees as a business than the product and winning on the field?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think they're worried about the monetary aspects. But at the same time, I do think this is a good team. There's a rash of injuries, but it's still a good team. And to me, it's funny, for the past, I don't know how many years, people were saying the Yankees were too old, they were done, they weren't going to make the playoffs. And lo and behold, every year they're there. So until they prove me wrong, until they're not there, that's what you got to go on.
Now, I feel your guys' situation is very similar to what my team, the Phillies, went through last year. You got a lot of star guys injured, and you're going to have to rely on that pitching, like you said earlier. And, it didn't work out so well for the Phillies.
Well, the reason why it didn't work out is because Roy Halladay wasn't Roy Halladay.
Right, and he still isn't this spring either. He's had a very slow start.
How old is he now?
Late 30s.
But
his fastball's down around 90, 91 miles an hour.
Right.
And
he can't live there.
He needs to live at 93, 94 unless he can learn how to use the fastball.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
But yeah, just seeing what the Phillies went through last year, that was their problem. They didn't score runs. Cliff Lee had a great year. He didn't get the run support. I mean, how do you think that they can avoid that?
I think they're going to score runs. I just think in different ways. Right. They're going to get on base. They're going to steal bases. They're not going to, be the Bronx Bombers, quote unquote, if you will, anymore. They're going to be a different team. They're going to be more a national.
Who in the lineup besides Cano could hit more than 20 right now?
I think Hafner, Youkilis have the potential to hit more than 20.
I tell you
I
what.
think Vernon Wells can hit more than 20.
Oh, yeah. He's here now.
You know,
Lyle over, Bay.
You're right. I do laugh. Because
but
can that happen? Sure. Vernon Wells has a ton of talent, no
Absolutely.
doubt about it. But to project that or expect that, I think is foolhardy.
Listen,
I really
I'll tell you right now what I'm projecting. Okay, you're hoping with the acquisition of Vernon Wells.
Well, Vernon Wells wasn't on your team 3 days ago.
All right. But he is now. He's a Yankee, right?
And we're doing the show today, so
Right.
go ahead.
So my point is Granderson's out, what, 6 weeks?
At least.
Give or take, right?
Yeah, around
6
there.
or 7.
Okay, so you're relying on Vernon Wells to hold down the fort till Curtis Granderson gets back. So can they tread water with Vernon Wells for 6 weeks till Granderson gets back?
I have no idea what Vernon Wells has left.
You know, it's going to be tough to tread water in this.
33, 34.
It's going to be
How about
very tough to tread water in
How
this
about a guy-
division because any team in this division can finish first and can finish last. So, you know,
Yeah, you don't
treading-
know what
No, Walsh,
Toronto's
treading
going to
water-
do.
I don't make much of the
I mean-
spring training stats, but if you check, Vernon Wells had about 400 this spring
That
with the
means
Angels.
That, you know
It
that
means
Hey,
nothing.
Euclid's got 5
It means
home runs,
nothing.
too,
Spring
eh?
It
training
means
means nothing.
absolutely nothing. But this guy
doesn't mean
this guy
anything.
can still turn on a fastball. He could still be productive.
Right.
And if anything,
you hope so.
I sure
Now
do.
let me go back to another point. You
Sure.
tell me they're going to get on base and they're going to steal bases. All right, Ichiro's not what he was, right? He's not stealing bases like he did. I'll give you Gardner. Gardner's a huge upgrade, no doubt about it.
Right.
Derek Jeter's ankle's falling off.
Right.
Who's getting on base and stealing all these bases you keep talking
Gardner
about?
and Ichiro are going to get on base. Cano's going to drive them in, and then you got Euclid and Hafner who can also get on base.
Hey, Jeter hits,
I-
man.
I-
Jeter hits
yeah, I
every year.
could see
Year
it.
in and year out, Jeter hits.
I could see Hafner having a decent
Jeter's
year.
39
Look,
years old with a
early
bum ankle.
Look, here's what I worry.
Every year
here's
somebody's
what
had
worries.
something
Here's
wrong,
what worries me about Jeter. Offensively, he's going to be the same Jeter. You know, he's going to hit around 290. You know, maybe 10, 12 homers. He's
Not if that ankle is keeping him out of the
No.
lineup every 5
the
days.
that won't be the issue offensively. The issue with the ankle will be his range at shortstop.
which is is almost non-existent.
How good of a shortstop will he be with the ankle?
He's not very good now. He's short-handed at the balls he
And
can
now-
get to, but he has no
And
range.
now, Mulhern, here's the real question, though. If he's not able to play shortstop and you got to stick Nooney in there, where do you put Jeter? What do you do with a Yankee icon like that? Where do you put him? That's the real question.
Gotta DH him. Gotta DH him.
He's going to play shortstop. Now, how well he's going to play it is the question. Exactly. He's an icon. He's not going anywhere. He's going to be at shortstop. Number 2 is playing shortstop. No doubt about it. You can't put him anywhere else.
Eventually, the Orioles had to move Cal Ripken. When is it going to be time for Jeter to move? That's the question.
I don't think he's going to. I don't think they will. I really don't. I think his defense hasn't been good for years, and he hasn't moved.
He's been average.
It's
Look,
gotten
he's
better.
been
Actually,
average.
he went down and he got a little bit better, but with a bum ankle, man, range of motion, flexibility. Who knows where we're going?
Well, that scares me too. So I agree with you.
Now, let's talk about a newcomer to the team that we alluded to earlier, Kevin Youkilis.
My favorite too.
How do you feel? How do you feel about Youkilis on the team now after being such a hated rival for so long?
One word: shalom. Welcome. No, in all seriousness, look. I mean, this whole Yankee Red Sox thing, guys coming and going. Plenty of guys have came and gone between teams.
Yeah.
Okay, Johnny Damon,
Clemens.
Mike Torres, Clemens, Wade Boggs,
Mike
Mike Stanley.
David
I
Cohn.
remember that deal.
So let's
Caught a foul ball from that guy once.
let's forget that and let's focus
Yeah,
on.
it doesn't matter. You're right.
Look,
It doesn't matter.
Kevin Youkilis, he's a bit of an aging Jew, but however,
You know he's
That he
married.
could still swing a stick.
You know he's married to Brady's wife.
yeah, and she's
Get
not
out,
bad.
really?
She's
She's
bad.
not
Wow.
good looking. Brady's married to Giselle.
Right.
And Youkilis is a bald man with a nest underneath. And Brady's
he belongs
sister,
on that logger show.
Brady's sister looks like she belongs on a corner, man. She's
But the fact is,
Don't let one of Brady's linemen be watching this show tonight.
You know I hate the Patriots.
We
the
all
fact
do.
is,
We
the
all
fact
do.
is that he's fucking a Brady, and I wish I was.
Tom?
I don't care. That is a handsome man, and you leave him alone.
The father?
I don't care.
He was gay. wasn't he?
He was a homosexual. Yeah, from that gay show. What's the name of it?
Next. All right.
So no, seriously,
Don't touch me like that.
All right, but I like it and I enjoyed it.
Come on, we were talking about.
In all
All right, let's
seriousness,
talk
though,
baseball.
Kevin Youkilis, seriously, I think he's going to bounce back. You know, he's
I agree with you
third
on that.
baseman, above average defensively, decent arm. He's going to get on base a lot, which is the Yankee way.
I think Youkilis was great. The Greek god of walks.
He's the
for
Greek
those
god
of
of
you
walks.
that do Moneyball. Yeah.
Right. No,
I think
I like him.
I
coming,
think Youkilis was a great signing.
I welcome him.
I just don't see the offense all around. You're relying on a aging pitching staff, Pettit and Kuroda. Who Kuroda was phenomenal. He was the Yankees' best pitcher last year.
Yeah, that's the biggest wild card. Can you duplicate his numbers?
Yes, you can.
Pettitt's. I understand Pettitt's been durable. Pettitt's getting up there in age. Where your strength lies and where you're going to win games is the bullpen. And that's how if you make the playoffs, you get there through the bullpen. That's where you do it.
And the bullpen's locked down. There's lots of guys up and coming that are studs. That are there's two guys specifically that are going to contribute to this bullpen this year and be absolute studs. And not like studs like you would find at a bar in Chelsea. I mean like studs,
Nice, very nice. Now, talk about, Brandon Bosch. He comes from the Tigers.
These are just
now,
all these guys are all
hold
leftovers.
on.
Well, he's not what do you
feel?
hurt.
What do you feel that he can contribute to the
Nothing.
team?
He's going to contribute nothing. He's hurt. He's not going to make opening day roster.
Ben Francisco, Brandon, they're nothing. That's the Yankees not wanting to spend money to try to fix their holes. That's what that comes down to.
Lyle Overbay, baby. Lyle Over.
All right, so let's get to more nothing. Behind the dish for the Yankees.
That's what we do best.
Behind the dish is the worst
Behind
situation.
I like saying Lyle Overbay's name. It just sounds nice off the tongue.
Now, behind the dish, it's going to be a little platoon of Cervelli and Chris Stewart. How do you feel about that?
I think Cervelli's a major league catcher. What do you think?
I agree. He is. That's more treading water.
Major league hitter, though.
First of all, how do you do steroids and hit 4 career home runs?
There's no proof.
That's what I want to know.
There's no proof.
That's probably as many as
Girardi.
There's
no proof. There's no proof.
I love
Johnny Cochran.
Documents have been
track
burned.
marks on his ass.
Well, I love Cervelli because he's Italian. So, I mean, that's my only argument with that one.
Well, that's a solid argument.
You got the Jews covered. You got the
Italians
Italians covered.
Well, hey, listen,
Just don't start with the Irish.
I know. I'm with two Mix and a Polak. I feel like I'm back in Old Bayonne in the 60s.
Hey, you got it. He's the first.
If anyone thinks that's funny, call in and let me know.
It's
I don't
funny
get it.
because I'm a Paisan. I'm a Ginzo, a grease ball.
And knock on wood, he's the first guest that hasn't taken a direct run at us yet.
Well,
we still got plenty of time.
Listen, you guys are my friends. I'm just very happy to be here.
Yeah. What's funny is that most of the guests we have on aren't our friends, and they take runs at us.
No.
Well, we're not their friends either.
Yeah.
All right, one more question before we hit the break, and then we're going to get into the over-under game.
I like giving it to her under.
Now, your bullpen this year, this is going to be the last year for Mariano Rivera.
Right.
That's
what she said.
Now, Soriano's gone.
Right. Easy, fella.
He's gone. Soriano's gone, and now you got David Robertson and Rivera. They're holding down the bullpen. Who else are we looking at in this bullpen this year?
Well, you got those two guys. As lockdown as it gets for 8th and 9th inning.
Right,
okay?
absolutely.
I love Robertson. Yeah.
You got Jabba. Jabba's not going to be.
Right.
Jabba's gone next year. By the way, he's not going to be with the team. He's a free agent. He's going to go somewhere.
You got a Reedsma.
What's that?
He wants to be a starter.
Reedsma had a nice
Reedsma. He was a former closer with Seattle.
Closer,
I like him.
I do too.
He's been
I
really
like
good.
him too.
But there's two guys that I mentioned before off the radar. Vidal Nuno, who's given up 1 run, has a whip under 1 this spring.
Don't talk to me about spring stats.
Fine.
But he's projected to be a good player.
He's a left-hander, out of the bullpen, could start, but he's going to relieve for this team. He's going to be the second lefty till Clay Rapata gets back. Very, very good, very polished. 24-year-old lefty. There's another guy, Mark Montgomery, who has a 6 strikeout to walk ratio.
Right.
He's got a fastball in the low 90s. He basically projects to be like another David Robertson. So those are two guys that are going to knock on the door sometime in 2013 who are going to make a huge, huge impact in the Yankee bullpen.
And that's the quickest way, I think, in the major leagues you can make an impact.
Absolutely.
Through the bullpen. You bring up some power arms.
Look at
David Price.
Yeah.
He's done it.
Well,
Roger Clemens did it. Jimmy Key did it.
How about Frankie K-Rod?
Frankie Rodriguez.
Against you guys back in 2003 with the Angels. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, thanks.
But I think those guys are going to make an impact. And then, you round out the bullpen with Boone Logan, who's okay, Cody Lepley, who's...
You got enough arms in there.
And
that's where you're going to win games.
And then, Nova and Phelps, you pick one of them as your long man.
We got to keep them low scoring.
Phelps is a long man.
They can, I like Nova more as a long man. I like Phelps in the rotation.
Oh, if you're going to put him in the rotation.
You know what I mean? So the bullpen is solid, rock solid. The rotation is very good. The offense... It's not going to be what you're used to.
Right.
There's not going to be home runs. They're going to have to manufacture runs, and they're going to have to play defense and pitch a little. And then I think they will, and I think they're going to win the East, and I think they're going to win 92 games.
Now, real quick, touch on something you say. You think, Nova had a pretty good year in the rotation last year.
No, he had an awful year.
2 years ago, he was
all right, I'm sorry.
2 years ago, he won 16 games.
Last
year, he didn't make the postseason roster.
That's what I was
You know what's real funny about Nova? 2 years ago, he had a great year, right? Last year had a bad year, but his strikeout to walk ratio was up. Mm-hmm. So what does that tell you about peripherals and sabermetrics?
You know.
I mean, it's not always in the numbers.
Some of it's luck.
Some of it gets lost in translation. But Nova's kind of a wild card, and you don't really know which Nova you're going to get right now. So,
on that note.
All right. When we get back, we're going to go to the MLB over-under game. Right now, we're going to take a 2-video break right now. We're going to welcome back to the 14A Sports Radio Show. All right, so let's get into a little bit of this MLB over-under game. I'm going to start this shindig off with my team right now, the Philadelphia Phillies. Last year they went 81-81, perfect 500. They got
perfect 500.
They got off.
That's terrible.
They got off to a really slow start, but all the big guns are back. Utley, Howard, they're not going to be starting the season off on the DL. I like the over on the Phillies this year. What do you guys think?
I think you're crazy.
Oh yeah,
I think you're right. Yeah. They're back.
What's the over there, Walshy?
What's the over? What's the number?
You said I like the over. What the fuck is it? It could be like
84.5.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I think the Nationals and Braves are both better than them. As we discussed in the last segment, Halladay is not Halladay anymore, I don't think. I think Hamels is still there. Cliff Lee pitched to a lot of tough luck. But I don't trust Utley. He has a degenerative I'm batting 1,000 with these words today, huh? He has a bad knee. He has a bad knee.
Wait, am I the only one, or does Chase Utley kind of look like a child molester?
Well, do you ever see his wife? He's doing fine.
Hey, listen.
But he has a bad knee.
Slick back hair doesn't equal child molester.
You lost Victorino. I don't think the Phillies are going to be that good.
Well, Don Brown's back on the trail. He's got his swing together.
You better hope Don Brown's
back together. Ben Revere, he's having a nice
going to hit 250.
He's having a nice spring. But here's the deal. Listen, with the Phillies going 81-81 last year, all right? They slumped coming right out of the gate, and now they've got all their guns back. They're not going to slump in the beginning of the season like they have. Also, another thing that they have going for them, this is probably the last year that this whole big group is intact, okay? So they're going to make a run.
Wait, what big group are you talking about?
Utley, Howard. It's looking like Halladay could be dealt if things don't go the right way. But, this is their last run at it right now. Ruiz is going to be a free agent after the season.
Chooch.
So, and also the Phillies have a very easy schedule. Like, they play the Mets like a million times, so that's a ton of wins.
What do you got left
on? Are you kidding me?
I just took a shot across the table.
The Mets can always be very annoying.
You're going to the schedule?
Oh,
it's 100
schedule is right on the table.
games. You're going to the schedule?
I am.
That doesn't even make sense. You're the third best team in the division off the bat.
Well,
how are you talking about the schedule?
Well, here's the deal. We were the third best team in the division last year, okay? Right now, we're playing the over-under game, and they're going to get over 84 wins.
All right. So that's your over. Go ahead,
right.
Rich. You go next.
You want my over, my under? What do you want?
I want you to pick one. Just do it.
All right, let's go under Nats then. Like you said, Matt, the Braves are tough in the division. The Phillies are going to be tough. The Mets always go through like a 30-game stretch where they're a little pesky, and I just don't see them winning 92.5. I don't see 93 wins out of the Nats. No.
I'm going to have to agree with them. I mean, this is a much tougher division than previous years. They're going to have Strasburg.
90, not 93 though.
All right.
They're going to have Strasburg back full throttle this year. That's right. But
does it get better? Let me ask you this: does it get better than Strasburg, Gio Gonzalez, and George Zimmerman? Is there a better threesome?
Ross Detweiler's in there.
Halladay,
I can think of better threesomes.
Halladay, Havelsley.
10 years ago.
Balis, step out.
I want to be the lucky Pierre.
No one knows what that means.
And now, also another thing. Remember, we have a $100 entry fee into this.
Yeah, what's the rest of the bet we got going on?
We're gonna
figure that out. We're gonna figure that out.
All right, so you got the over on the Phils, you got the under on the Nats. Balis, what do you got?
I like the over on the Yanks. I think they're about 84.5. Listen, I think it's a very, very low number for a team that's consistently won 90 games every year since 1995. How can you not bet that?
Well, the division's going to be a lot tougher this year.
Is it really?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, every team in that division. You know who I like to win this division this year?
Toronto.
Tampa Bay.
I don't like Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's soft. They lost a lot of players. They're gonna have to
give you Baltimore before anybody else.
They got
Baltimore's not going to be as good as they were.
They got some young guns this year.
Toronto's going to be as good as anybody.
Toronto's going to be very overrated, and it's going to hit the. you know what's going to hit
What's
the
the number on Toronto?
Well, I'm going to get. Well, you know what? Let me just get that out of the way
because
that was my under.
I would
That's
have to
my
say
under.
88.5.
88.5. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so Walsh, that's your two. You're going under Toronto.
I got Toronto 88.5. You know, the thing is, my whole thing with that, we've seen how dream teams apparently have gone in recent years. With
Wait, can you do another quote?
Right.
Dream teams.
Oh, okay.
Dream teams. So
You look stupid doing it the second time too. All right.
Vince Young and the Eagles. Right?
I heard that.
So well.
I heard that. But yeah, it's a lot of guys on that team who are used to being the top dog on their team. You know, people might have a little, harder time adjusting to bat in a different spot. I don't think Dickey's going to have the year that he had last year.
No shot. No shot.
Josh Johnson's never healthy, so
Let me ask you guys something, because this is something I've thought of, and we rarely see it in baseball or any other sport for that matter. Could the AL East possibly not have a losing team in that division?
No shot. There has to be. Just by the nature of how many games they play each other, I think there almost has to be.
It's the Red Sox.
You don't think that the last place team could win around 81 games?
No. Just because they play each other too many times for that to happen.
Right.
I really do. I think the AL is very strong this year. The West geared up. I don't think Oakland's going to be as good. And give me the number on Oakland. But
they're around 80 and a half.
They play each other 18 times a year.
Oakland's
Didn't
84
the NL West have a
84.5.
winner a couple years back though, where the team won like 79 and got in?
That was essential.
San Diego Padres. San Diego Padres
West,
won.
yeah.
NL West. San Diego Padres won
the
about
NL
83
West.
games.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
It was
That's
a
why
few
we
years
got our
ago.
baseball historian on the table right now.
That's my whole life. That and
rolling dice down AC.
hi, Mom.
Carpal tunnel.
All right, Molly. So what do you got here? on the over-under?
Here we go. Ready? I'm going to take the under on the Yankees. And he say, how do you do it? Here's how I do it. I say, you don't have offense. I don't think you're going to be able to score enough runs. I really don't. You talk about speed and stealing bases, and I don't see it. Ichiro's not what he was. In Seattle, before he got dealt to the Yankees, he was having a terrible year. And granted, when he came to the Yankees, he had a renaissance.
Yeah.
He definitely played tremendously. I don't see it happening again. Your injury bug is already
Mets
hit.
fans have just been waiting for. Look at his eyes.
Yeah.
you know the thing
The
about
injury bug is already hit. You have no idea when Teixeira comes back, and when he does, a wrist injury, as I'm sure you very well aware.
both hands.
But that saps your
Hey, you know
power.
what?
If you can't turn the wrist, that saps your power.
Listen.
I don't see it happening. You lost a ton of power. Your pitching, which is your strength, needs to be your strength. I don't see it holding up. I don't see it happening. You have an excellent bullpen, but I don't think your starting pitcher is going to carry you. I got under on the Yankees.
Okay,
Walk it down.
One thing.
Boom.
One thing I always say to every Mets fan around, what is it, March 20? What do we got?
April 1st?
No,
Yeah,
what is it?
somewhere
March? It's late March.
Okay.
Late March,
27th.
late March, early
It's
April.
a day in March.
It's Walsh's girl's birthday, and he
Late-
don't know the date.
All right, put it this way.
That's why we brought Richie back.
So when are you going on the DL again?
You're welcome, Oaks.
I'll say the same thing that I'll say the same thing I say to every Mets fan in early April. You talk now all you want. I'll do my talking in October, and we'll see who's left standing. How about that? All right?
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. That's
No
it.
problem. Then we will do that.
Well, no, honestly,
Solid.
Upward and upward.
now
Yeah.
to talk about that Yankees
No.
thing, all right, I really compare this year's Yankees team to last year's Phillies team. You saw how much they struggled out of the gate. They won 81 games. This is the over-under game. I see right in that 80, high 70s win for the Yankees.
And what if you're wrong? What are you gonna do?
We already have the. We
I'm
already
Whoa,
covered
whoa.
this. Rich, your
I'm gonna
second team.
continue with
Go.
the radio show.
Second team, I got over the Dodgers. They just loaded up.
What's
And
the number?
it is about time Donnie Baseball gets a winner. And it's
What's
like
the
Yes,
number?
I wouldn't mind that at all.
90 and a half.
Oh, well, then there's my under. Excellent.
Yeah, I like that.
I have. All right,
I
then
like
I'm
them
definitely taking the under on the Dodgers.
I'll go a side bet on that with you.
Oh, I like this.
Absolutely.
Now wait, somebody's got to walk down Broadway in something
Oh, no.
scandalous if they lose this one.
I'll walk down Broadway nude regardless.
Nobody wants to see me.
Make
or
sure
Richie.
you're watching the after
Everyone wants to
party.
see me naked. What are you kidding?
No doubt. I have the under on the Dodgers at 90 and a half.
I do
no
too.
doubt about
I do
it.
too. I want
that's
in on that.
Walsh, that's like your sixth team. You only get two. Richie,
One,
I
two,
definitely have that under. Hanley Ramirez is already hurt.
Yeah,
He's
he
supposed to be the shortstop. I think Kershaw is one of the best pitchers in baseball, no doubt. But you paid a lot of money for Greinke, and honestly, in a big market like LA, he has a lot of issues. You don't know what you're going to get out of him.
Yep.
Matt Kemp, tremendous player, banged up his shoulder, coming back off a shoulder injury. Ask your boy Adrian Gonzalez, because since he banged his shoulder up, he has not had the same type of power as he has. He's not the same kind of player. Andre Ethier is completely overrated. I got definitely under on the L.A. Dodgers. And you know what? Magic Johnson, stick to basketball and movie theaters. How about that?
Showtime.
Well, AIDS, he was good. AIDS, there's no more AIDS for Magic. Look at
that. Man, he kicked the shit out of that.
Mulhern touched on something I want to bring up that's really important.
Okay.
Is the by the way, I agree with you. I disagree with you about Ethier. I think he's a little better than you're stating. However, the Greinke issue. Greinke's a great pitcher, but like you said, in a big market, this guy's got anxiety issues.
Yeah, he does.
Like, how do you know he's going to be able to handle the LA market? I mean, what if
Xanax
or the LA
exactly.
nightlife? The LA
like,
nightlife.
I mean, this guy could pop like 20 Xanax and not
double
make a
pill
start
down the goddamn
inning.
boy's throat. Remind him how much he's getting paid and put him out on the.
Our boy Old Cam Boyd, who used to pitch high on coke every game.
Well, listen, pitching on coke.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Pitching
That
on
guy's not a
cocaine makes you
pitcher.
a lot better. Listen, cocaine makes anything better. I think we all know that. But I mean, all right,
What do you mean?
You can pitch. Look, what I mean is that cocaine and Viagra go well hand in hand. Okay.
Hi, Mom.
What does that have to
Hi,
do
Mom.
with Zach Greinke?
Hi, Mom.
I don't know. It was weird.
All right, here you go. You got one more team, Balis. Go for it.
I'm taking Minnesota under at 68.5.
Wow. They are terrible.
Holy Christ, that is bad.
And they're going to be even worse when they deal Justin Morneau because it's coming. I don't know if it's
I
coming
agree
at the
with you.
deadline. I don't know if it's coming at June. But
You know, that's not a
Morneau's
bad
gone.
contract.
Coming to the
You know what?
Yankees?
I could see him on the Yankees.
Coming to
I
the
think the
Yankees?
Yankees should pick him
We
up.
need him.
He's got 1 year left. He doesn't affect the luxury tax.
He's crushed it at Yankee Stadium
Right.
too. If you look at those numbers,
And his
left-handed swing is perfect.
perfect for the stadium.
He. You know what? If they picked up him instead of Francisco and Lyle Overbay,
Stay off Overbay.
I
Vernon Wells,
might think
Vernon
a little
Wells.
bit different.
I think Morneau's more of a long-term solution for this season. I think if Teixeira it becomes apparent Teixeira's going to be out for the year,
You think they'll go take that money?
I think they're going to go after Morneau.
The
Absolutely.
great thing about the Teixeira injury is the World Baseball Classic has to pay that through insurance.
It's great, except the replacement is Lyle Overbay.
Stay off Lyle, all right?
Well, he's terrible.
Your name's
I tell you
Lyle,
what,
you're
I tell you
automatically
what,
cool.
When Lyle Overbay connects on a home run, is there not a swing in the game? Have you seen
Ike
Lyle
Davis.
Overbay's
Ike
home run
Davis.
swing? It's gorgeous. It is gorgeous.
And how often do we see that? That's like the eclipse.
Look,
I
you
hit
guys are
27
making,
one
you
year,
guys
I
are,
think.
you guys are making fun of Lyle Overbay, okay? But listen,
Who are you going to bet? You're about to make fun of someone.
You banged somebody named Lyle.
No, listen, Mark Teixeira. Okay, Mark Teixeira's gone. He's a go first baseman, and he's
Tremendous first baseman.
good offensively.
No, tremendous.
All right, Gold Glove defensively, good offensively. Yes.
He's better than good offensively.
Okay, so now when you're getting a guy to replace him, you're not trying to get a guy to replace Teixeira. You're getting a guy to hold down the fort. At least Lyle Overbay gives you one of Teixeira's
He has a
aspects.
glove. He has a glove.
He has the glove. He can't hit a whole lot. Okay, he's not
Or
going
at
to do
all.
that. But he's going to replace Teixeira defensively.
You
What's
better
wrong
hope
with that?
so.
What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with it is he's not that good. Is what's wrong
Okay,
with
but
it.
injuries happen. I'd rather be where the Yankees are now than be the Mets in any day.
Okay,
Whoa,
now
whoa.
how about in the next 5 years the Mets, and we could do a long-term bet.
You want to go
whatever you want.
prospects? I can rattle off prospects.
The next,
don't.
the
Please
next,
don't.
yeah, you're
Farm.
gonna give me those double-A outfielders. I know they're coming. How about the 3 Bs that you had? Brackman, Betances, and Benuelos. One can't find the strike zone. The other one's not in the organization. The other one had Tommy John.
You know what?
So don't tell me
you're
about
absolutely
them.
right. What
We had
about
like
what about
25
Generation
catchers
X you
that
had
were
in the
taking
mid '90s with Isringhausen,
How about,
Professor, and
how
Paul
about when,
Wilson? What about
how
those
about
guys?
when Matt Harvey just came? That has nothing to do with anything.
No, but it's history repeating itself. It has everything to do with everything.
Do you honestly believe that?
Yes, I do.
Matt Harvey just came up last year and had dominant stints in his first stint as a major league pitcher. Zach Wheeler is. Hopefully he's not Paul Wilson. You're right. And
We're hoping.
as Mets fans, we were all scored by that.
But you guys got a good farm system. You guys are loaded.
in the next 5 years, the Mets win more games than the Yankees.
Absolutely not.
By the way, how bad
Mark
in the
it down.
ass is that Montero for Pineda trade kicking
It's
you
not-
in the ass
you don't
right
know
now?
that
'Cause
yet.
You don't know that yet.
No, but you know what?
It's
They
yet.
need a catcher. The Yankees
Yeah.
need a catcher bad right
And
now.
Montero's not a catcher.
Montero's a
He's
DH.
Could've.
Montero's a
Could've
He's a
DH.
been.
DH. He's a
Could've
horrible
been.
catcher.
Could have been.
You can
Montero's
say
a
I'm a
DH.
catcher and make me a catcher.
You're
That doesn't
not a
make me
catcher. Well,
Montero's not a catcher
on
either.
weekends,
If
you're
you
a
call
catcher.
a pig a horse, what does it make him? He's still a pig.
Makes him somebody I never
Sweet
mind.
Jesus. All right, Balis, thank you for your time on
Thanks
the
for
air
having
this
me, guys.
evening.
Yeah.
It's been an absolute pleasure. we had some great shit going on tonight,
buddy.
and you know, we hope it continues. You know, and that's it.
Well put, Walsh.
You got to update what the bets
say.
are going to be.
I had another set.
Yeah, they'll be on the website.
Yeah, we definitely will. We'll keep everybody in tune with that. Right now, we're going to get to a quick video break from the Scandals. This one's called Jersey Sweet.
And then what are we coming back with?
The Cause News. News for all you uneducated people.
Ellen.
We'll be right back.
15 minutes of fame. Let's go.